Hi everyone, welcome to your April 2024 astrological forecast. So the big news this month is the new moon total solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th. So I will be starting your forecast off with that when you get to it, okay, each individual sign. But also on April 1st, Mercury in Aries turned retrograde and will stay that way up until the 25th when it turns direct. And then on the 5th, Venus moves into Aries, okay? So by the time this eclipse comes along, there will be the Sun, Venus, and Mercury and a new moon all in Aries. So wherever you have Aries in your chart is going to be pretty active for a while, okay? The Sun in Aries up until 19th, right? And then it moves into Taurus on the 19th, and there's a full moon in Scorpio on the 23rd. Then on the 25th, Mercury turns direct in Aries. Then on the 29th, Venus moves into Taurus, and Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus, so it does really well when it's in its own sign. And on the 30th, Mars moves into Aries, and Mars is also the ruler of Aries, and it does really well when it's there. So, I would like to remind everyone that the weekly forecast is now like a daily forecast, but it only occurs when there is a major aspect for that day. So that's why there isn't a daily video. But we're still calling it like the weekly forecast or whatever. Whatever you want to call it, okay? So be sure to check out my daily forecast shorts. Okay, they're just a short video. And a special shout out to my subscribers. Thank you so much for all your support, your likes and shares and comments and your donations. Everything you guys do for me helps my channel to grow. Okay, I really, really appreciate it. So, now for your forecast. Hi, Libra. So, along with Aries, you will be one of the zodiac signs most affected by this solar eclipse, right? It's in your opposite sign of Aries. Okay, where you have Aries in your chart is your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships, whether it's a business or romantic or friendship. This is also the house of arrangements and agreements, the house of competition and open enemies and contracts. Many, many things here, but it is the house of like togetherness. Okay, it's partnership houses. So the new moon solar eclipse takes place on the 8th, and Venus will be here at the same time along with Mercury retrograde, a new moon, and the Sun. The Sun is in Aries up until the 19th. So the Mercury retrograde thing here is kind of like, I believe, what's really enhancing this eclipse, okay, because a lot of times when Mercury is just direct in this house, it's a time where you feel like you have to have that conversation with somebody. And it would be one of your close relationships, okay? Or as far as business goes, it could be somebody that you do business with, not someone that you're in like a partnership business with. But if there's something, you know, going on within one of your close relationships that you need to get off your chest, this would be the time for that, especially around that new moon, okay? On the 8th, the solar eclipse, okay? Whatever goes down around this time, it will last a lot longer than it normally would. So you might want to be really careful about what you say at this time and make sure that somebody actually understands clearly what you mean by what you're saying, especially if you are entering into any kind of an arrangement or an agreement. This is the house of lawyers also, okay? And one of them could be drawing up a contract of some kind or other, or someone could be trying to get you to agree to something. You know what I mean? It depends on what it is, but you know, you could be the one that wants to change something within the relationship, and that's what the new moon is there for, to bring a new beginning, okay, in the friendship, romantic relationship, or a business, okay. Now, Venus here really is very helpful, okay, because there's obviously someone may not like whatever it is you have to say, okay. So this kind of smooths it over a little bit, having Venus here. Okay, so you know, just I would, you know, choose my words wisely, and if you can avoid entering into some kind of an arrangement or agreement, that would be a good idea. In fact, you should agree to do this later, you know, if you possibly can. It's just, you know, this is happening opposite your first house. So these are directly across from, you know, whatever planet you have in Libra, the sun, a rising sign, or anything else, you know. So it's kind of depleting your energy in a way, okay? The sun in Aries is being eclipsed, right? It's energized, and it's directly across from your sun in Libra, and this is an opposition. It creates a tug of war between energies. So even during normal oppositions, it's depleting. But the fact that there's the eclipse happening at the same time, it may be very debilitating towards you, like even emotionally, you know, you just feel like you don't want to deal with it, or you're just not up for it right now, which is good. You know, just let it go till another time. I think that's probably like the best advice. But there's times where you can't do that. So I'm just saying, be very explicit with whatever you say. Make sure people clearly understand what you mean by what you're saying. And if you do have to get into like something like a contract of some kind that's actually written, tell them you need to take it home and read it, you know, and then you could get back to them like next month or at the end of this month, whatever. So anyways, Mars is still in Pisces in your 6th house, okay, up until the 30th. Then it will move into Aries in your 7th house, but I'll cover that next month because it really won't affect you. And, well, it might start to affect you again at the end of April, but more so next month, okay? When you have Mars in your 7th house, it brings out a lot of aggression, okay, from other people. But right now, it's in your 6th house of the workplace, your co-workers, the kind of work that you do, your house of health, and your house of service to others, okay? And Saturn and Neptune are also here at the same time. So you could be, I guess, acting up a little bit at work, you know? Not putting up with a lot that you normally have been putting up with. There's someone there, or there's actual like policies that are in place that are very restrictive and stifling you at work, you know. If it's not a person, it's the company policies, whatever, you know. Mars, it's a very energizing planet, and it makes you stand up for yourself. So if in the workplace you have someone trying to restrict your movements or push you around or whatever, you more than likely will just push back, okay? Libras aren't very good at that. They are passive-aggressive people, okay? So maybe that's what you'll do. You know, other than that, this being the house of health, having Mars here makes you really physically energetic. And if you don't already do some form of exercise, you may want to take it up at this time. Okay, so the sun does move into Taurus and your 8th house on the 19th, and then Venus moves here on the 29th, and Jupiter and Uranus are already here. Okay, so this is, you know, if you've been listening to some of my videos, I've been, you know, saying for how long now, just having Jupiter and Uranus in your 8th house of other people's money and resources. This is passive money coming to you through means other than earning it, such as a legal settlement, insurance payout, refund of some kind, tax refund, increase in credit, increase in a bank loan or something or other, and legacies and inheritances. So you may, this is also shared property that you own with someone else, and shared bank accounts and shared credit cards, okay? So with these planets here, though, especially with Venus being mixed with Jupiter and Uranus, you know, eventually at the end of the month, you know, I've been saying you're on the receiving end possibly of some kind of inheritance or legacy, a legacy from someone. And it could be someone you don't even know. They just want you to have whatever it is. It's not always money. It could be anything, you know. But they have you in mind for something like this. And I believe this, if that has not already happened, that it's putting the wheels in motion for that to happen. Jupiter's getting ready to leave in May, okay, and move into Gemini. So a lot of times before a planet leaves a sign, it has that one last effort, you know, to do its best. So I believe at this time, especially with having Venus here attracting, and this is from the 29th on, Venus, okay, in Taurus, it attracts money and Venus-related type things like luxury items and whatever, okay? Now there's a full moon in Scorpio on the 23rd in your second house. That's where you have Scorpio. These are both the money houses, the second and eighth. And the second house is earned income and your possessions. So there's something possibly going on, probably with, I would have to say, if you do own property with someone else or bank accounts or credit card companies, this would be the time that around that full moon that you really put your foot down on the spending. You know, if this other person is spending too much, or you're wondering where the money went, or you know, you're reviewing bank statements and credit card statements and there's charges or whatever on there that aren't yours. You know, this is one of those times. You've probably already handled it in the past, but it's coming up again with this full moon being here. And that's what full moons are for. They're here to get rid of a problem, so you don't ever have to deal with it again. So this would be something like that. Or if there were money that was supposed to come to you, or possessions or something or other that was supposed to have already been in your hands, you know, you're like, well, where are they? You know, it's another one of those efforts to get what belongs to you. Okay. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Libra on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Aries, and those dates are the 7th, 8th, and 9th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 30th. The best time for money is the 9th, 10th, 11th, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The best time for your career is the 13th, 14th, and 15th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 11th, 12th, 13th, 26th, and 27th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for April. Be sure to check out your weekly, daily forecast. Okay? I'll see you then. Goodbye.